This is Luigi, fresh bringing it to you on a Thursday afternoon. I hope you're doing well. This will air this Sunday, March 23rd, if my brain serves me right. And today is March 16th, so I wish all of you well. I'm sitting here in the dining room, different, because I'm going to go outside for this. This is going to be part 2 of our shrimp, because I told you last time, excuse my nose itch, part 1 I told you about, what shrimp are not. And today I'm going to show you what shrimp are. Now, I had some difficulty with this video because I've been thinking about it, believe it or not, all week, and what I should do, what I couldn't do, what I might do, and I kind of decided to go this route. So I hope you like it. I am going to talk about, in this particular case, in terms of shrimp, I'm going to talk about the cherry shrimp. The cherry shrimp seems to be apparently the most common shrimp in the hobby in terms of taking care of shrimp. I know there are people who actually have channels dedicated to shrimp. I know there's Mark Shrimp. He hasn't posted in about a month, but he's very good. He really has so many shrimp. I think he's excellent. And there are people like people I follow, Boss Aquatics. I will mention him in the future. I really enjoy him. He has a blue shrimp tank. But I want to talk about these cherry shrimp because that seems to be what I have predominantly in this tank that I'm going to show you. That's what they kind of look like. They're really not too much bigger than that. And so this is what we're going to talk about. A little cheat sheet for these shrimp that kind of look like this. I got this from the internet. This is not my tank. The temperature really is, again, because most of the world uses Celsius, 18 to 30 degrees Celsius. Here in Fahrenheit, we do 64 to 86, so it's a nice wide range. So that makes them easier to keep. They are freshwater, they're not salt water. They have a pH 6.5 to 7.8, so it's slightly acidic to base to neutral. And again, look back on my archives. I did a video on pH and what is pH. That's on my archives. Lighting, which I need to start talking a little bit more about, because especially when I talk little preview, I'm going to talk about a nano tank that I got from my birthday in March. Lighting is important. Whether in these guys, it really doesn't matter, low to high, but as long as there's enough light for the plants to grow, and it's not just any light. We are going to definitely talk about lights. You just can't throw a light bulb in there. And a substrate, they prefer darker colors, more natural colors, and I'm going to show you those darker / natural colors in a minute from my learning tool, which is the lake. And the scientific name Neocardina davidi. I kind of love the Neocardina. I think it's the coolest thing. So that is a little cheat sheet for these cherry shrimp. The environment, you should really put them in at least 5 gallons. They could actually get away with smaller, but 5 gallons would be nice, but larger is always better. Live plants is a must. As you see my little pictures here again from the internet, these are live plants, and I'm going to show you my live plants because the live plants produce beneficial bacteria, because bacteria, as I was actually thinking to myself earlier in the day, beneficial bacteria really is the key to fish keeping. And I believe, I could be wrong, it's also for saltwater fish keeping. Bacteria. I think we're too busy always scrubbing our fish tanks, and we really don't take time out to let them be. And they really do need that bacteria to grow, which would grow on the leaves of plants, and algae for the shrimp to eat. And we also need driftwood or calla wood. There's a little shrimp on driftwood or calla wood, which I'm going to show you what that is, even though it is covered with some algae. And it softens the water, and it also gives them hiding spots. I'll show you the different hiding spots. It'll be hard to show because I'll explain why. But nevertheless, it does make it more authentic. That's what I mean by softening the water and making it a little bit more acid. Continuing with tank mates, the rule of thumb. If it fits in their mouth, they will eat it. I'm talking about fish. So if the little shrimp, which are no more than an inch, to be honest, if it fits in their mouth, they're going to eat it. So for sure, you want to maybe keep vegetarian fish such as otto cats. I don't keep otto cats in my tanks at all. I should, but I know I've had bad luck with them. I know some people swear by them. I just don't do well with them. But otto cats are good for shrimp, and my favorite, and I know Boss Aquatics also, I'll mention them more, often. He's out of Davenport, Iowa, if my brain serves me right. There's so many varieties of tetras, so many. Like this Black Phantom tetra, the Cardinal tetra, the Ember tetra, the Red Eye tetra, and that's just literally a small taste. There are so many tetras, and they can really do well with the cherry shrimp. And also the chili rasboras. The chili rasbora is a fish that I've recently fallen in love with, and I recently acquired. And I'll show that when I talk about my nano tank, and I'm create a playlist for my nano tanks. But I do have some shrimp with chili rasboras, but I was debating whether I should show that to you, but I didn't want to because that's a whole separate thing and a whole separate playlist, and I don't want to mess with that. I rather show you a nano tank with nano tanks, and I rather show you my shrimp tank, which is an actual shrimp tank, and some other fish I have in there, which will be part 3 of the shrimp tank series. So now that we've talked about, just give me one second. I just wanted to make sure this was my last slide before I go outside. What's kind of weird is that with my shrimp, I've tried feeding them in the past, and I noticed that they'll chew on a couple of things, but then they really won't eat, and the food will just rot, and it will create excessive amounts of algae, which I'll explain when I show you my tank. And so I don't feed my shrimp at all. They are scavengers, and they will tend to eat what's off of the wood, and I'll show you that wood in a little bit, and what's off of the plant, because they mostly feed on algae and bacteria from the surfaces of driftwood plants and this Indian almond leaves, which I'm going to show you. I'll show you right now. Make sure I don't. I actually buy Indian almond leaves. You see, it literally says Indian almond leaf 10-pack. My wife lovingly messes with me because I actually buy leaves from Amazon. It's a little 10-pack here. I haven't opened up this pack yet, but it's my little spare pack. I throw one of these into my tank once a month, usually the first Friday of the month. And the reason I do is because it makes it more authentic. It gives it gives them something to chew on, you know. And I'm going to talk one more thing about that in a minute. And the shrimp food, I tried this actual shrimp food. They munched on it, but most of it kind of gets wasted. My opinion. And they could eat vegetables like zucchini, peas, carrots, spinach, but I would feed very sparingly because it will kind of go to waste, in my opinion. Now, before we go outside, that Indian almond leaves that I showed you, the Indian almond leaves, it kind of really softens the water and it gives it a tannins. Tannis. I'm gonna try to remember to write that underneath my little the video here, right under there. And tannins means that it doesn't mean that it's dirty. It just means that the water turns brownish, or something that you'll hear other aquariums called black water. I'll write that down too, black water. And it's not because it's black, and it's not because it's dirty. It's because that's what the wood and the leaves will do. They will make the water brownish or blackish, and it actually is more homey for the shrimp. So now that I told you that, let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I am outside. You see literally right behind me, you see that right there, that house? That's where I live. And so I'm going to show you the lake that's literally right outside my house, which I've shown you before. Look back at my archives. I did a little walk and talk with the lake. In the beginning, when I first started this, I showed you the lake, the different parts of the lake. I actually did pH, ammonia. I tested nitrates and nitrates from the lake. Check back on my archives. So I really like this lake. It's one of the things that drew me to this little townhome because, I'm a freshwater guy. How could you resist having a tool right in front of you, which is the lake? And today is really a beautiful day here in South Florida on March 16th, even though this will air on the 23rd. It's about 75, 76, cool breeze, and a nice winter day here. But I want you to notice here, and I want you to notice in your local lakes, rivers, ponds, streams, you notice how dark it is? It's not because the water is dirty. Remember I told you that there is some type of, I'm trying to look here. You see there are some plant life in here, even some lily pads over there. You see a duck here having a little drink. There are plants. You see the plants right there. I'm gonna try to blow it up without dropping the phone. There are plants right there growing, right there. that really is, it really is the filter of the lake, those plants. And you see how dark it is? And now I want you to notice different lakes and all that. The reason is I want you to look. See all those coconut trees, little trees over here, the trees over here, the trees over there. Now, especially these trees. I'm going to try to blow it up here. See that tree? And you see that tree over there? Those have really small leaves. And they will blow around. And including, it'll blow into my tank, which is down there. That's Troy. Right there, right? And it will blow. And it will create that brownness. And not only that, but you see over here, you see pieces of the trees over here. You see there'll be wood. You see there's wood. Wait, let me blow it up a little bit here. You see the wood right there? Wood will actually fall into there, and that's that driftwood. All kidding aside, this is all natural. This is a learning tool, and it will create that tannins, that brown that I'm talking about, or that black water. And so I want you to see authentically that all these leaves and all these branches and all this stuff create that dark look. And I wanted to share that with you as I try not to have this fall apart here. Hold on. There we go. And I wanted to share all of that with you because I want you to see when I show you my tank that it's not dirty. It's natural. And it's kind of weird because I love my shrimp. I really do. And before I go to the shrimp tank, remember that as two ducks start to fight. I think they're trying to fight. I think they are. Anyway, as long as they don't hit me. The problem was, remember Christmas Day, I told you of 2022 that I had that major cold front and those fish in that particular tank died out because the heater wasn't warm enough. And I went through a whole thing about that, about cold front, look back at my archives and what took place. And so I had to, those poor fish died out. So I re-changed that fish tank to make it a shrimp tank. And this is what the product is, right? So I wanted to show you that, and I wanted to explain why it's now a shrimp tank and not a cherry barb tank like it was before. Okay, now I'm back under the awning. Hold on. You see there's the lake. I was just there. I just came from right there. And I wanted to show you this tannins thing by not showing it to you first. Remember, this is my review, my mini pond, my guppy mini pond. You notice even though this is opaque, you see that there's no light coming on the sides. There's only light up here, but I want you to notice how clear it is. It is crystal clear. I have to do an update on this, but it's crystal clear because there's no driftwood. There's very few leaves that are, you see there's no leaves. There might be a few because they blow around, but it's hardly none. So it is very clear. Then you come to my turtle tank, and I love this filter, which we're gonna talk about this filter sometime, because to have 3 big old turtles here, this tank should be a lot dirtier. And I actually have to do a water change this weekend. But I want you to notice that is a big piece of driftwood that Carolyn got me for this fish tank. And I want you to notice that the water does have a little tint to it. Little tint. You see there? It's not, I'm not talking about the algae on the glass. You see, so that right there, that's part of that tannins. Now, as I move over here, the tannins grows a little stronger because I do have more. I'm gonna move the plant. And remember, I have this plant here because of the birds. I don't want my fish getting eaten. You see definitely the driftwood down here. See, I got some driftwood down here. See that driftwood? There's a driftwood right there. I got wood over here, right? And so that, and the driftwood back there, you see it right there, and that definitely makes the water a little bit more brown and gives that tannins, more of that black water. And remember, I have all these extra plants. I didn't have all these extra plants initially. I actually did a trimming this morning because my wife is right. It was getting a little crowded in there. And in terms of, those are the fish she likes. Look at that, the little neons. And so I want to trim it up a little bit. I know there's a lot of plants, but I have a lot of fish, and that helps with my bio load in there because I know this tank is overcrowded. That was my bad, my fault. But I really love it. It's a New York fish tank. I mean, it's crowded. There's a lot going on in there. But the plants keep the bio load down. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for in the last 15 minutes. show you the shrimp tank. I know this video has gone long, but you know what? That's life. Sometimes it takes a little bit to learn things. Something I was watching, because I watch people's videos. I really to learn, not to criticize, because I don't believe in criticizing, because nobody's perfect. But I want you to see something they emphasize. I forgot which person said it. Things that are important for a shrimp tank. You see my water hyacinth, this stuff over here? I think that's critically important, and somebody had mentioned that in a video, because you'll notice that the what do you call those roots, how they kind of grow down there. You see and you see how dark this water is? Look at that black water. This is not dirty. It's not dirty at all. It's actually quite clean. But I just want to share that those roots, they'll put their babies there. They'll hang out in there. And I'm gonna see if I can spot something in there. But I just want to show you that. I think that's essential. Then over here, I think you see a shrimp right there. That's collarwood. You see also those little holes right there? You'll see that's driftwood right there, or collarwood. I have a driftwood piece behind those plants right there. But it's all covered in algae. I want you to see that. That is essential. I think I just saw it. No? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I did right here. He's actually eating from there right now as we speak. That is really important. I think that's the second thing that's really important. Third thing, which I also mentioned, was the plants. You need tons and tons, and I actually took out. You see all that right on the side there next to the fence? I took out all those plants because it was just getting ridiculous. The amount of plants that were just kind of growing, and I just had to take some out. I took out a lot of plants, more than I want to care to talk to you about. So, but it's essential to them. And I think the other thing that's quite important is, I told you, the Indian almond leaves. And like I said, I think one of my Indian almond leaves is still decaying. Let me see if I can put on my regular glasses, my reading glasses. I'll show this to you like this while I'm putting on my reading glasses. And again, here we have some duckweed that's growing. It also provides some shade. That's going to be really important to me, especially as it gets warmer. When it gets into when I have months, and I do months plural, of 90-degree days plus, that duckweed is going to help shade my people. But you'll see right here. See it right here. Right? You see it right here. You see it right there? I know you really it's hard to see, but right there is indeed the what you would call those things? Let me see if I can move it a little bit. Right there. That is the Indian almond leaf right there. You see it right there and you see there is one of my shrimp hanging out right there on the plant. There's another couple of shrimp that's right there. You'll see them. I'm trying not to move too much. You see the shrimp right. Hold on, let me see. You see the shrimp right there. Right there. Let's see if I can spot another couple of shrimp down there. You see, there are shrimp. It's just tons of. Maybe you can see them better than I can. See, there's another shrimp right there. You see the red cherry shrimp. See if I could spot any here. But it's kind of weird because this is a fish tank that you really don't see too much going on. But it's there. It's really, really there. You see, there's a shrimp right there. You see him? And these are the guys I'm going to talk about next time. They're called panda garrets. And I'm going to use that at a species Sunday because that's the only type of fish I got in here. Right there, those little guys. But we're not talking about those right now. I'm just going to spend another few. There's another good shrimp right there. I showed you that shrimp earlier. There's a shrimp back there. So they're in here. I got blue, I got yellow, I got orange. I got all kinds of little guys in here. Let's see if I can get a couple more before I let you go. Let's see. No. Let's see if I don't want to put my fingers in there too much. Let's see. No, it's kind of hard. It really is hard to spot them. But they are definitely in there. I think you see a couple there. Anyway, not to press my luck any further. There's one right there. As I was saying, that's a workout trying to spot those guys. So that's what we got. I hope you saw. I want you to understand, what shrimp keeping is. You got to be patient. You got to have the water aged. You got to have that black water. You got to really, really, and don't be afraid of not seeing them. It's part of the deal. This is Louis D. Fresh.